We had three opinions in our Mishnah. We had Rabbi Shmuel, who came out saying that you need to have one hadas, one good hadas, two extra hadasim, right? Two extra hadasim that could be cut, and it could be cut, right? And that was for Hid Mitzvah. Really, according to halacha, the strict letter of the law, you need to have one whole hadas, two extra for Hid Mitzvah. Okay, that's Rabbi Shmuel. Then we had Rabbi Tarfon. Rabbi Tarfon said you got three that are cut. Okay, then we had Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Kiva said all you need is one hadas. Okay, says the Gemara now. Rabbi said, and then we said that why Rabbi Shmuel need three? Why Rabbi Shmuel does he need to be whole shleimim or not? If he needs to be shleimim, then all three. If not, so we said okay, he really retracted. Good. You know when you do this Gemara, you think over outside the Chazar. After you're done Chazar, you just think if you could say it over outside. Three opinions. Two of them you have in your mind now. Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Tarfon, and Rabbi Kiva. Amar Rabbi Huda, Amar Shmuel. So we're jumping into Gemara. Amar Rabbi Huda, Amar Shmuel. As long as nothing spiked today what happened today, be calm. I'll tell you. We need a day or two before Thursday. You know, I don't know what Thursday. Every Thursday, I don't know what's going to happen Thursday. So a day or two of calm. Amar Rabbi Huda, Amar Shmuel. Rabbi Huda says the name of Shmuel. We're going to have we're going to have some more notes than usual today. Not as hard, but just for clarity. It's not a hard Gemara today. But just have the pencils handy. Amar Rabbi Huda, Amar Shmuel. Halacha ki Rabbi Tarfon. The halacha is like Rabbi Tarfon, and I wrote on top 3 cut hadasim. Halacha ki Rabbi Tarfon. The halacha is like Rabbi Tarfon. Not too close. You know what I'm saying? The halacha is like Rabbi Tarfon that says 3 cut hadasim. Period. Va'az the Shmuel l'tamei, and Shmuel is consistent with, like, along his reasoning. He holds like a Tarfon, and we'll find that Shmuel says something that fits with this statement. How do we find that Shmuel acted upon this halacha? Let's see. The Amar Lahu Shmuel. Shmuel told Lahanu. Shmuel told to those people, the Mizavni, Asa, that they sell hadasim. So the Amar Lahu Shmuel told Lahanu to those people, the Mizavni hadasim, Asa, that they sell hadasim. What he told them, you can make a dash. Ashvu v'zavinu. Ashvu v'zavinu means like regulate the price, lower the price, v'zavinu, and then sell. They were raising the prices on hadasim too much. Ashvu v'zavinu.
Price gorger.
Yeah. V'iloi. And if you don't, make a dash. Darishna luchu, I will rule publicly. I mean, I'll get up there and the drasha. Darishna luchu, I will rule publicly. Ki Rabbi Tarfon, that allows the cut hadasim.
And then no one needs.
And then. Right? Meaning, if you're not going to if you're not going to give a lower price on the hadasim, then I'll get up, on the hadasim, then I'll get up and say that they can have the cut hadasim, and then you're going to be out of business, because everybody will just, no more brisker hadasim. No one's looking anymore for hadasim. So you're right, this is a look.
How do you charge Ashru as you
So Ashvu, it means shaveh, to make it equal, but it means to regulate it. Like not to
regulate it, to raise it.
No, not to raise it. He was telling them they gotta lower it.
Lower it because they have a monopoly or something probably.
Yes.
Oh, Ash says.
So says the Gemara now. Rashi says mochru b'shaveh, sell it at equal price, but al talu al demeim, and don't make it so I'm a patient mevakshim yichem. Why? Because people don't make it higher because people are asking for shloisha hadasim shleimin. Everyone's coming and they want the best hadasim, so you keep jacking up the price. Don't do that. V'iloi, and if you don't do that, I will publicly rule Rabbi Tarfon. Now here I'm gonna add a few notes just so that it flows. My timer. Now the Gemara is going to prove that he really holds like the Tarfon. The question is, what was he doing here? Was he telling them, I'm going to rule like Rab Tarfon just as a threat, but he doesn't really hold that that's the halacha? If I tell you, meaning was he trying to threaten them? So he was saying something which he doesn't really hold of, but he wanted to scare them. So I'm going to tell you, I'll rule like Rab Tarfon, even though he doesn't really agree that Rab Tarfon.
How can you so make all of it?
Right. So the question is, that's a question. Was this just a threat? Or he really felt that this was an option, that this is a real option. So the Gemara says, my
Make
timer.
option.
My timer, why did he make that threat? I wrote on the side, my timer, why did he make that threat? So my timer, my timer why did he make the threat? My timer, why did he make that threat? Ilema, if you want to say, or if you would say Mishum Demekel, he was being lenient. Mishum Demekel, he's being lenient. Or Mishum Demekel, I'm sorry, Reb Tarfon is most lenient. Excuse me, I made a mistake. Ilema Mishum Demekel, if you would say because Reb Tarfon is most lenient. And I'll add a footnote here for a second. Ilema Mishum Demekel, if you say that Reb Tarfon is most lenient. Ilema Mishum Demekel, because Reb Tarfon is most lenient. And I'm going to give you a footnote here. You ready? You ready for this? Ilema Mishum Demekel, because Reb Tarfon is most lenient. You ready for this note? And even though he doesn't agree to it, even though he doesn't agree to Reb Tarfon, he would use it as a threat. So Ilema Mishum Demekel, and if you would say that the reason why he went after Reb Tarfon, why he said like Reb Tarfon, because Reb Tarfon is the most lenient, and we added the note. And even though he doesn't agree to Reb Tarfon,
Because there is someone to the side of that.
he would use it as a threat. That's the biggest threat he could use, right? So it's not that he really holds Reb Tarfon. He the person doesn't hold it, but he wants to pull the biggest threat out. So, right? So Ilema Mishum Demekel, if you would say, my time, why do you make the threat?
You can't say you don't need Hadass.
Right, exactly. You
Yeah.
can't say I'll do away with Hadassim.
Right.
But I'll tell you the most Mekel Shita. So Ilema Mishum Demekel, because Reb Tarfon is the most lenient, and the footnote says, and even though Shmuel doesn't agree to it, he would use it. He would threaten with it. Good? It's clear? Yaakov is clear? So Velid Rosh Lahu, let him rule Rabbi Akiva. So that let him rule like Rabbi Akiva, who needs only one hadas, they make al tfei. That's even more lenient.
Why is that more lenient?
Just wait. Oh, just wait. I wait 1 second. Let's just before that. You're saying
Well,
good.
it's one, the other one three.
You only need one.
Yeah, but you need maybe it has to be
So 1 second.
So maybe you can say three is like one.
Oh, just wait. Gavaldik. Rabbi said, listen to
No,
this.
three bad is like one.
That's the shayla right now. That's Mam Shashayla. Watch this right now.
You're being serious?
Very serious. I'm not joking.
Oh,
No, wait, so 1 second. No.
You were on the game.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Rabbi say, Ilay Mamishan the makeup because Rabbi Tarfon is most lenient. Religious look Rabbi Kiva. So let him rule like Rabbi Kiva, then make al Tvei, who's even more lenient. And a small, right? Question mark. And I'm going to give you a small footnote. Obviously, he mentioned Rab Tarfon because he actually holds like Rab Tarfon. He's not just pulling out a threat. He's trying to tell you, I'll rule like the halacha, and the halacha is like Rab Tarfon. The question is he just pulling out a threat that he himself doesn't agree with? Then pull out the biggest threat out of the bag. If he wants to threaten him, if he really, listen, he's not going with what he holds like, but I'm going to pull out the biggest threat. So what's the biggest threat? Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Kiva is the biggest because he told them, you got to lower your prices. If not, I'm going to paskin like Rabbi Tarfon who says 3 cut. So he wants to know, what's he doing? Does he hold like Rabbi Tarfon? Or does he really hold like Rabbi Tarfon and really it's okay? Or he's just trying to scare them, threaten them with I'll tell you, be very, very makel. 3 cut adasim. So the Gemara says, if he's just trying to threaten them, why didn't he say Rabbi Kiva says 1 hadas? That's a bigger threat. Forget it. Everybody's only need 1 hadas. He put you out of business.
One.
Because everybody ordered 1,000,000 hadassim. Everybody has, a limited amount of hadassim. And now every seller is going to be left with 2/3 of their original hadassim. Normally they sell 3,000. Now they'll sell only 1,000.
It's still olive.
Just wait. Okay, you're saying Gavaldik. So 1 second. The footnote is 1 second. You have this footnote. Who delivered? You have this note.
Yeah, but you didn't finish.
Say it again.
Obviously, he mentioned Rabbi Tarfon because he agrees with him, and he wasn't just
Just before he said pink paquet because he disagrees.
he set it up 1 second.
We're trying to figure out.
We're trying to figure out, is he just threatening here, or he's using a threat that he holds of? So if he's just trying to pull out a strong threat, pull out the biggest threat.
Wait, so now we're saying because he didn't say like Rabbi Kiva.
Because he didn't say Rabbi Kiva, it must be that he really holds a Rabbi Tarfon, and he's not just, he agrees to Rabbi Tarfon. Meaning he's not, if he wants to just threaten, if you want to threaten, I had it this morning. I want to tell you something interesting this morning. I was learning a Taishvis in Bava Basra, preparing for the afternoon share, and Taishvis was discussing, will you pull out a threat that doesn't make any sense? Like, when you pull a threat that's beyond, like we had a similar thing. Can a guy threaten, if you don't pay me, then I'm going to take your whole palace, I'll steal your whole mansion. So Taishvis was there trying to figure out, and Taishvis mentions our Gemara. Taishvis mentions, but you see that Gemara, he only threatened him because he held like him. So you can't pull any threat.
Wasn't an empty threat.
It was an empty threat, exactly. If he just wants to threaten, then you pull out the biggest threat possible. What's the biggest threat? What's the biggest threat, Eli? Rabbi Kiva or Rabbi Tarfon? Rabbi Tarfon requires 3 yadasim.
Only in money, obviously in the whole bag.
So Rabbi Kiva would be the biggest threat. So if he didn't threaten with Rabbi Kiva, Elamai, he must be. Why did he pull the biggest threat out? He wants to threaten with something that he actually holds of. So obviously, he mentioned Rabbi Tarfon because he holds like him, and he wasn't just pulling out a drastic threat. Is that clear? Mary Maskim? The Gemara answers you. אתה מסכים?
אני איתך.
לגמרי?
מסכים זה משהו אחר, אבל אני איתך.
Okay, so maybe in the next line
So what's the question? So it's not a question.
Oh, no. So 1 second.
He's saying, why does he go with Rabbi Akiva?
So we just said because he really holds like Rabbi Tarfon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So this would be a raya that he holds like Rabbi Tarfon.
So it's not a question.
I apologize. Really, it's like, so 1 second, you're saying good.
The Gemara is still.
The Gemara is saying, this would be a raya. Just you're saying, Rabbi's saying good. The Gemara, it's kind of, the Gemara is trying to say, could this be the raya now? It's like, is this the raya? So the Gemara says, the Gemara says, look, the Gemara says, you ready for this? You ready for this, Rabbi say?
No.
Right after this, by the word tlasa, Rabbi said, look at this. Tlasa, the Gemara says no. Right? No. Tlasa ketume, 3 kod hadasim.
There's more mako.
Shchichi is more common. Right? It's more available. Chad v'loy katam. Just wait for this. One that's not cut. To get a perfect hadas, loy shchiach is not so easy to find. So, you ready for this? So one footnote is perhaps he doesn't hold of Rabbi Tarfon,
But it's still the biggest threat.
and he's using the biggest threat.
So Tez doesn't have a raya anymore.
Exactly. So perhaps he doesn't hold of Rabbi Tarfon, and he's using the biggest threat. I know it's a lot of footnotes, but that's the flow here. Yeah, right? You see back and forth. So perhaps he doesn't hold. You thought he holds Rabbi Tarfon because then he would have held because if he was really threatening, he would have held like Rabbi Kiva. We must say no. Rabbi Tarfon is the biggest threat. Because to find 3 hadasim, imagine you're talking, go get the cheapest stuff. Any 3 cut hadasim, 1, 2, 3. Find 1 good hadas, it'll take you an hour.
Wait, so we see he doesn't actually hold that.
So this is not a raya that he holds like a tarfon. So
we don't know.
So exactly, we don't have a proof. This story does not support what he said before. Before we said Shmuel holds over tarfon, and this story is going to be the raya. Shmuel made a statement. Shmuel halacha like Rabbi Tarfon. We wanted to bring a story that will show it. Will illustrate how he holds Rabbi Tarfon. This story doesn't illustrate that. Maybe Rabbi Tarfon is the biggest threat. Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was trying to remember exactly how the Taisha said it, but I was so excited that I saw it. I said, I'm doing these 3 lines tonight.
By the way,
threatening, like, if you don't hold of it, like, you can't just possibly.
You're saying good, right? But so maybe he felt that he could still use that. The question is if he's using it as a threat. I'm trying to forget if he's
yeah, use empty threats all the time.
right. But he wouldn't.
Rabbein,
Look at this.
Russia. Empty
As a-
threads, you know?
Oh, they're not saying it over there. Answer over here. You can say easy to say that here, right? Answer Rabbi said, brand new Mishnah. Rabbi said, look at that. We did our Mishnah to Mishnah, Baruch Hashem, and we're getting right in. Rabbi said, I didn't get a chance to go home today between supper and between yeshiva and here, and no, it's second night. So I couldn't bring in my esrig, but tomorrow I have to bring in the esrig. Just so. I don't have an esrog of Arla, I don't have an esrog of Truma, but I don't have an esrog of that have all the things, but we have esrog. Esrog goes ready. Everybody say, I want to say this esrog we're gonna have much more to discuss, and everything else we had it was a daf, an omid, a rub was short. Esrog is like a blot and a half, almost 2 blot, because esrog, I'll tell you, everything else is a branch. Esrog is a fruit. A fruit has much more halachas to it. Why? Because there's truma. And there's something called Arla. Arla, we'll go through in the Mishnah now.
3 years, right?
3 years. So we have Truma, Arla. We're going to have Maisa Sheni. That's not Nagea to a Lulav. A Lulav has no other lach as well. Shemitah. Yeah, we're going to have all these things here.
Yovel Gam Ulai.
You ready? This year, this year is not Pashas because we're Shemitah. You ready? We're getting.
No, you get it from Italy.
No,
It's
Morocco.
That's where it used to
Morocco. Remember? Guys, if
Esrog.
you want the best esrog, catch him at 12 o'clock by Shiners. I'm telling you right now, Pasha.
Esrog Agazel, you ready? Everybody say jumping right in over here. Jump to the Mishnah.
first.
Jump to the Esrog.
$80 a pound.
Therefore.
Let's go. You ready?
Price sorted.
Let's go.
No strawberry, but I think that's matzahs.
Designer.
Both sides.
Designer
You ready?
You can put your name in it. You can write happy birthday.
Yeah, if I say don't, we're not taking any matzahs. No matzahs before Purim here. Esrog Agazel. Everybody say Esrog Agazel. You ready? You ready? No, jump right in. Jump right in. No. I know this. Yeah.
Matzah is Mazonis until
Esrog Agazel. Everybody say we're not going to do this. Everybody say we're doing the Mishnah.
One of them doesn't want to start Esrog.
Esrog Agazel.
We won't be able to finish this
Esrog Agazel that's stolen. V'hayavesh and a dry esrog. Puzzle. It's puzzle. Shalashera.
We don't share.
That was worship of Dachas Puzzle. Get ready, Rabbi say. Shal Arla. Here we go, Rabbi say. Arla, the first 3 years of any fruit tree, you're not allowed to eat the fruit. It's called Arla. Shal Arla, says the Gemara.
What tomorrow, Mishnah?
The Mishnah, you're right. Shal Arla.
Thank you.
Arla is the fruits of the first 3 years. You ready? We're going to see Shal Arla.
Mishnah. Now I know where we are.
Puzzle. Shal Arla Puzzle. Comma.
The alcohol's kicking in today. Instead of yesterday.
There's no turning back at this point, by say. Just have to wait till Purim passes. Shal Truma Tameya. I don't know what every day brings. Shal Truma Tameya. There's double others. Is Mama. Shal Truma Tameya. Yeah, Shal Truma Tameya. If you have Truma that became Tomei.
Like a mouse went in it, right?
Just wait. Oh, Shal Truma Tameya.
Oh, relax.
Chaim, relax. Chaim, settle down, Chaim.
It's a seat.
Chaim is so quiet tonight. And this guy, Shal Truma Tameya. Truma Tameya. Everybody say you have to write on the side. It's usher to eat. Truma is only for a kohen, by the way. If it becomes tameh, you're not allowed to have hana. You can't eat it. You can't have hana. We'll speak. Yeah, no one can eat. What?
If it's truma, you can't use it if it's truma.
Just wait. Oh, so truma tameya. But I just want what is?
Even regular.
Let's see. Shall truma tameya, which is inedible, puzzle. It's puzzle. Oh, shall truma tahira. Now, everybody say truma is if you have a pile of fruit, you give an average of 1/50th to the kohen. Question is between 1/40th, 1/50th, and 1/60th. Approximately 1/50th to the kohen.
But you're not eating
Who's
it.
a kohen over here? Who's a kohen here?
Wait, but you're not eating it. Machpatlo.
No, the Gemara is going to go all into it. Maybe you have to be able to. Oh! Just wait. No. Just wait.
It's not yours. This is yours.
Shall Truma.
Unless you're a Kayan.
Just wait. Maybe. Let's. Everybody say you're going to have to wait. Everybody say you're going to have to have patience to the Gemara. Shall Truma Tahira. Of Truma Tahira, Layita. Don't take it. No, you tell. Don't take it. Lachatchila. V'im not all. But if you took it, kosher. Good.
See, it's not yours and he still took it.
Shel demai. Everybody say, make a note on demai. Always good to know. These are terms that come everywhere. Demai is
Something.
Unconsecrated.
you're right. Oh, no, that would be teva. Wait.
Suffix.
Demai is
Suffix ma'aser.
Not in regular.
suffix. It's really demai is fruit of amaretz.
Chazak.
That's a suffix if he took off. Amazing. So what's demai? Demai is a fruit of an amaretz, and it's a suffix if he took off the necessary things.
Certain times of
How
the
do you
year.
know?
it's
How do you
kosher.
know?
By the way, certain times of the
Right?
year.
Shel demai. So Beishamai poislin, uBeisilo machshirin.
Really?
Beishamai says it's pasul, Beisilo says machshirin. That it's kosher.
Lachatchila?
Oh, that's what it would seem like.
We're
That's what,
uncertain if he took off what.
no, answer if he took off truma and meiser.
If it's kosher.
The Amarz, you don't know if the Amarz takes things off. We'll see later on. We're gonna discuss it more.
You know the guy that's...
Period. Shamaiser Sheni. Shamaiser Sheni.
The
You
Levim.
ready for this? Oh, wait. No, my
Sheni.
Sheni, you ready for this?
In Yerushalayim, or you played it, or you played
Ready,
it.
ready for this? Watch this. Everybody say. Look at this.
Meiser
1,
Rishon.
2, 4, 5.
That's a Rishon.
In years 1, 2, 4, 5,
Truma to the Kohen.
you take fruit up and eat in Yerushalayim. What's Meiser Sheni? Years 1, 2, 4, and 5. You take the fruits and eat in Yerushalayim.
Or
That's
you
called.
played it.
You take fruits and eat in Yerushalayim. That's called Meiser Sheni. Meiser Sheni is years 1, 2, 4, 5. Eat in Yerushalayim. It's good to have that in. You hear that so many times. You got the more you knock it in, the more you remember that. Meiser Sheni 1, 2, 4, 5. Yerushalayim. So yeah, Meiser Rishon goes to the Levi. Meiser Rishon goes to the Levi after you take off Truma. First you take off Truma, give it to the Kohen. Then you take off Meiser Rishon and you give it to the Levi. Then you take Meiser on Meiser. Then you take Meiser. Then you take Meiser Sheni and you bring it up to Yerushalayim. In years 3 and 6, I discussed years 3 and 6 of the Shemitah cycle.
Ani.
Then instead of taking Meiser Sheni to Yerushalayim, you give Meiser Ani. That goes to Niyim. Okay, for now it's Meiser Sheni Yerushalayim. It's good to remember that 1, 2, 4,
7
5.
Shemitah.
7 Shemitah.
What is 1, 2, 4, 5?
That Meiser Sheni is years 1, 2, 4, 5 of the Shemitah. You take fruits to Yerushalayim and you eat it over there. Now, what you do, lo yital, don't take the esrog of Meiser Sheni. Lo yital. V'em notal, but if you took it, kasher.
Tafka in Yerushalayim?
Yeah.
So Chutz La'aretz for sure.
You can't eat it.
That's going to be discussed. I'll mention more.
Yeah.
Also, chazaz is
Oh,
arubai.
look at Russia.
If blisters grew on most, wow. If blisters grew, Shmuel, man. Never. Also, chazaz arubai. Second hand. Also, chazaz arubai. Also, chazaz aruba. If blisters grew on most of the esrig,
What do you mean blisters? Like the
What
bumps?
does
well, no. It means real blisters that develop. We don't have that either. That's why it's blisters on the esrig. I'm afraid to go to the pictures here. I have to.
Jesus means blisters?
Yeah. I feel bad.
Also means grew?
No, I have to see it, Rebbe. I have to visualize it.
I know. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here, Rebbe, in it. Rebbe, in it, come.
Oh, Maldik. Well, Baruch Hashem, my boy said, I don't think this is a great picture. I have to go back to my pictures. These pictures aren't doing it.
Okay, they don't.
Also, everybody saying,
It doesn't look regular. That's the line.
it's arubai or not law pitmasai, or the pitum was taken off.
Wait.
Not la pitmasai, the pitum was taken off. Not la pitmasai, or the pitum was taken off.
Taken or fell, doesn't matter.
This means after it was cut off already. After it was cut off, the pitum came.
Cut off without a
I
pit.
mean, if it grew and the pitum fell off when it's on the tree, it's okay. That's right. So,
One is this, one is that.
Niklaf, if the esser was peeled. You ready? Niklaf, if it was peeled. Nistak, or had a real crack.
Shevel. Yeah.
Nikev, or it has a hole. V'chaser kolshu.
Is that together?
Isn't that the same thing?
I'm not getting into that yet because it's the Gemara will discuss it.
Same case
Nikev,
though?
Nikev has a hole and v'chaser, and yeah, this hole is v'chaser kolshu. Yeah,
Same case.
yeah, same. Nikev has a hole. Make a dash. It has a hole v'chaser kolshu, and it's missing a little bit of the esrig. Puzzle. The esrig is puzzle. All those cases. if it's peeled, if it's cracked, we'll discuss more how much it has to be cracked. Now we'll move on a little bit now. Also chazazes al miutoi, if blisters developed on a little bit. Also chazazes, if the blisters developed al miutoi on a little bit of it, on a minority, on a small part of the esrog.
Does it matter up or down?
Oh, let's get. We have to.
The top is worse. Yes.
You ready? Just wait. Kama, or not the uktsoi. Uktsoi is the stem on the bottom of the esrog. The pitum is on top. Uktsoi is the bottom. You know that has that thing that
Doesn't it
snip.
grow upside down?
Yeah.
Doesn't it grow upside down? So technically it's the top.
Not the uktsoi.
Anytime.
Nikiv.
No time means
Nikiv. It has not the uktsoi. The uktsoi was taken off. Fell off.
Also, you know the plant, sorghum.
Nikiv.
Last week though.
Nikiv. It has a hole. V'loy chaser kol shehu. It has a hole and it's not missing anything.
A hole? What do you mean a hole? Screw?
Oh, that. I'm very sure. Every time you ask, the Gemara is every shot is the Gemara
I'm
asks.
telling you, I'm coming B'ezrat Hashem for the Gemara.
Kashu,
I had a
kasher.
good malach in my mother's stomach, that means.
Kashu.
He didn't hit
Kashu.
me harder enough.
He didn't punch you
Nigga,
hard enough.
v'chasa koshu, kasher.
He was scared of you.
Mind that everything he forgot, he didn't take anything away. You ready? Esher Kushi. Kushi's from Ethiopia.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, racism, yeah.
Kushi. Esher Kushi.
Black History Month.
Kushi's beautiful, actually. Sipura Kushi.
Just wait. 1 second. Oh, no. Wait.
You know that. Wait, that's black and white revenue.
What do you say? What do you say?
Esher, no.
Sipura the Kushi.
Esher
Kushi
Kushi.
is beautiful.
Esher Kushi puzzle. Esher Kushi puzzle.
You want to get me started?
No, I don't want to get you
Is
started.
it from Kushi or is
Esher Kushi
You know that. Sipura
puzzle.
Kushi.
From Ethiopia, which is
Sipura,
black.
it says Kushi.
Wait,
That's-
that's where it's from.
Kushi is beautiful.
Just wait.
The S word.
Wait, I know.
After Mahar.
Where in the Shchor?
Never a time to
Esher Kushi puzzle.
Yes, I'm a racist.
Vayorok, and if it's Vayorok, and if it's green, kekarti like a leek. It's green like a leek. So a kushi puzzle. Yorok kekarti, if it's green like a leek, then
black.
make a dash. Rab Meir machshir. Rab Meir says it's kosher if it's green. Rab Yehuda paisa. Read this puzzle.
Really? Rameir is in Kashem and Rav
Shear esser cotton. Yeah, the shear of the what's the smallest size? The minimum size esrog.
Two eggs, that's what Rabbi Yossi says, right?
Rameir Aimer ke'egois. Rameir says like a walnut.
Rabbi Yossi, in there.
Rabbi Yehuda Aimer kebeya, like an egg. The smallest size esrog, either walnut or an egg.
But the Gemara we discussed already the sizes.
Yeah, because
There's
but this is
different
the
sizes,
Gemara brought that in. Yeah, but this is where
the minimum shear.
Ubegodol, and the maximum. How the maximum? How much is the maximum of an esrog?
2 hands.
A temoni.
Kedei sheyoyches shnayim biyodai achas. Kedei, in order sheyoyches shnayim biyodai achas, you go 2 in one hand. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi Omer afilu echad b'shtei yadav, 1 in 2 hands.
By the way, Yehuda, now that we finish here.
Yeah, Yaakov, did you hear that whole share?
What is it?